you guys? Welcome back. I'm about to do a little more work on the Miata. If you watched the last video, I mentioned I ordered a fuel pressure regulator. So we're gonna install that and see if it makes a difference. But honestly, we're not hopeful because we got to thinking about it and we're thinking maybe the fuel pump's just weak and it doesn't have enough pressure to open the fuel pressure regulator. I don't know for sure. We got the part, so we might as well just try it and see what happens. Well guys, as y'all saw, we are not getting any fuel returning from the fuel pressure regulator still. So I'm thinking it's likely gonna be the fuel pump. It's just weak and it's just not putting out enough pressure to open the fuel pressure regulator to return the fuel. But instead of guessing and just buying more parts like I've been doing, as y'all saw earlier when I unboxed the parts, we got a fuel pressure gauge. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna put it right before the fuel filter, right at the tank as it's coming out, right before it gets to the fuel filter, and we're gonna see how much pressure we get coming out of there directly. And if the pressure is good coming out of there, then maybe we have a clogged fuel filter, and if it's not good, then we need a fuel pump. Before it's all over with, I'm gonna have a whole new fuel system. I guess let's turn this puppy around and jack up the booty so we can get the fuel pressure gauge on there. So this is where we're at so far currently. That's the fuel filter. That's the hose that was connected to the fuel filter. So we're gonna use our fuel pressure tester kit thing that we just got. You would have seen it in the last video. But in order to connect it, these hoses that it came with, they're not big enough. So we're gonna go to my shop and grab a hose that fits. So I brought something with me for reference so I know how big of a hose I need. We're almost there. It's about to be a moment of truth moment. Did that make any sense? I don't know, but let's do it. So I was expecting this line to work on this Teggy, but it was too small. But since I'm a hoarder, I had this line in my Prelude tote and it's perfect. Well, you guys, as y'all saw, our fuel pressure is super low. It's actually worse than last time we checked it a few days ago. because it was sitting around 30 or a little higher, but it was like less than that. So it's getting worse, and I could tell because it's been driving worse. It's like barely wants to go, like it wants to just stall when you try to give it gas. So yeah, I think that confirms that it's the fuel pump, because we tested the pressure coming right out of the tank right before the fuel filter, and it was that low. So Ron actually has a fuel pump that he bought for his Miata, but we never installed it, or we haven't gotten around to it yet. So I think we're just gonna use that and throw it on this thing. Hopefully it's good enough, because I think it was just some cheap one he bought off eBay, but we're just gonna throw it in and hopefully it works good. So I think we're gonna tackle that tomorrow. We're just gonna leave the Miata up on jack stands, and we left the fitting and stuff and the gauge stuff connected down there. So once we put the new fuel pump in, we can test the pressure again and see how it's changed. It's 11:13 at night, so we're gonna call it a night here, but we will pick back up with this video tomorrow. What's up guys, it's the next day. Last night we went ahead and located the fuel pump that we knew we bought a long time ago for the other Miata, but we couldn't remember if it just came like just the fuel pump or if it had like the filter sock thing, and it does. And it came in this like soda can thing. Ron bought it back in 2018 for $10, and I just totally forgot that it came in that little soda can thing, and I was like, what the heck? I was tripping out. He only paid $10 for that, and I'm like, how did they even make money on that? Like with the packaging, and then it comes with the sock, the fuel pump, the little harness, like it might have came with clamps and a little hose, and then shipping. I'm like, dang, I guess that's just back when stuff was still cheap. We're about to get started getting stuff out of the way so we can access the fuel pump, and then we're gonna swap it out. I have no energy today, so I'm just gonna power through this because I'm pretty sure it's gonna fix our issue, and I know it'll be worth it to be able to drive the car. So that's what's keeping me going. So let's get to it. Guys, look what we are dealing with here. Okay, so we have to remove this cover to access the fuel pump, which sounds easy, right? But then you have this, which is completely rusted to this metal thing, and we're having to use like a plastic thing and a hammer to break it off from there, and it's really on there. Ugh. I thought the easy part was gonna be removing this, but no, of course not. Alright guys, y'all ready to see this monstrosity? Look, this is the cover we're supposed to be able to take off to get to the fuel pump. You can see the holes in it. Oh no. Look, there's the screws. How are we supposed to get those screws out? Oh, that one might come out. They're all completely just, oh, it's a mess. We're probably just gonna rip the cover off and leave the screws.
Honestly, yeah.
This is a disaster.
Oh my.
Oh god, be careful. Okay. Wow, what a mess.
Actually looks really good.
Yay, I don't have a rusty, crusty tank. Alright guys, change of plans. Let me explain. So this is the original bad fuel pump that was in the car. This is the new one that we were gonna put in the car. These pieces go on here somehow with this, and that's what seals this into here. But I was gonna show y'all this one versus this one, but I cannot get this hose off for the life of me. This one is smooth, see? This one is barbed, and this would not go on there to seal it in here. So what we were gonna do, we didn't want to cut this, since this is my OEM one, because we were gonna cut one right here, and then we'd be able to just slide this hose directly onto there, you see? So I was gonna get another one, and I was gonna cut it instead. And so I pulled it out of the tank and this is what I got. And I was like, there's no way I'm using that. Plus this one is already like that. You see, it already has the hose that goes directly on there. But I was like, no, like I'm not putting that in there. So then we had one more Miata and we took this out of it. And look how beautiful this is. This was out of a Miata with 133,000 miles, and it did run. It has been sitting, so I don't know if we'll get lucky, but I think I just want to go ahead and drop this in because it's just in really good shape, even way better than mine. See, look, this piece came off of mine and it's mush. It's like squishy and deteriorated and toast, but look at the condition of the one on here. It's still nice. And see, this piece, it's still intact. This was off of mine. Barely touched it and it just disintegrated. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and just drop this whole thing in and hope for the best. I like that it's all OEM. We don't have to cut nothing or do anything weird. The sock is still in good shape. Like, everything looks good. And that'll also make our life easier instead of trying to figure all this mess out. So we don't want to end up damaging the sock because mine, I barely touched it. And where is it? I barely touched mine and it tore. We just want to drop this in before anything gets damaged. So let's go ahead and do that and hope for the best. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Guys, it's test drive time. Excuse my rattly exhaust. Started in second gear. Sorry, I probably look dead, but it's worth it. It was a long day getting this thing figured out, but well worth it because she is back in action, running good. She still has some hesitation, like if you rev it at idle and like when you downshift and stuff, but we do have a fuel filter on the way. It'll be here on Tuesday. Tomorrow's Monday, so we'll get that. We still have the injectors, the new ones that we haven't installed yet, so I think once we do that, basically everything should be good to go. But for now, it's definitely drivable. It definitely wasn't drivable before. I could barely take off from a stop and it was dangerous. dangerous because I couldn't like get out of people's way basically. Once it was at higher RPMs and once I got going, it was good, but trying to take off was just not. But now she's running like she used to for the most part, and I'm so happy. I finally have a daily again. It feels good to actually drive something because I haven't driven anything in like a week, and that's not a long time, but it feels like a long time. Look at her looking cute. Probably gonna give her a bath, maybe some more fresh gas, and drive her home. Yeah, sorry guys for sneaking in another Miata video. It's just I was trying to get this done. It's all I've been working on lately because it was important for me to have a daily. So now that it's done, we can for real this time get back to the Honda content. Sorry, but at least this video has a happy ending, so I'm just relieved. I keep sighing because I'm just like, oh my god, it actually worked. I guess that's all guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out and wrap up everything and just go relax. But if y'all did watch this video, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, and I do hope y'all enjoyed even though it wasn't Honda content. But as y'all know, we got Hondas everywhere and they all need work, so I promise we're getting back to work on those. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.